What's happening, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday, January 25th. Hope you're doing awesome out there today. In this video, we're going to be discussing US MJ and the struggles that continue with that part of the sector. Getting a lot of questions about this and why US MJ is lagging, why we're seeing a lot more downside with US MJ comparative to the rest of the sector lately. So I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on that. We'll do some technical analysis and what to expect in the days and weeks ahead. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As I mentioned, obviously the sector continues to get pummeled, and we know that USMJ has been taking a beating a lot more recently. If we take a look at some of our Canadian counterparts here in just a moment, you'll see that Canadian MJ has been performing a lot better over the last month or so. But if we take a look at TrueLeave, this is something that I've been warning about for a while. I've been saying that my own personal MJ portfolio, everybody's different, but my own personal MJ portfolio, I've been focusing more on Canadian LPs because of how beaten down they are and the bargains that we have across the sector. Also, they're listed on US major exchanges. So I've always said until the US names are listed on, NASDAQ or NYSE, until we have the US MJ and the US operators on US major exchanges, it's going to be on the back burner for me. It's not going to be my main focus. Once we get uplisting to the NYSE or the NASDAQ, most likely the NASDAQ, then I'm going to be focusing more on USMJ. But as of right now, I would say USMJ only accounts for about maybe 20% of my whole MJ portfolio. So I've got a mix of Canadian operators, US operators, I've got retailers, I've got ETFs, things like that as well. I'm diversified. I've got about 15 different MJ positions now in my MJ portfolio, but I've also got more investments other than MJ, right? I've got crypto, I've got real estate, I've got mutual funds, tons of cash on the sidelines as well. And now I'm starting to focus more on USMJ. And the reason why I said that I wasn't as invested into USMJ is because we ran so much into 2021, right? A lot of names just didn't have any monthly support, like TrueLeave, for example. We had a higher low every single monthly candle from the low of March of 2020. So C19 lows until the highs of February 2021. We had a higher low every single candle for a full year, meaning we never lost the low of the previous monthly candle for a whole year, right? And when that happens, that's called no support, right? And on the monthly time frame, that is very bad, because once we finally start consolidating, it's likely going to be a fairly drastic move to the downside, right? And then if you take a look here, we had exactly what happened. The most fear that people like myself had, the biggest fear that we had came true. Was we had no support. So where's the bottom going to be? And then sure enough, because we had no support, we gave the whole move back, and here we are right back down to that low at $8.10 on TrueLeave. We hit a low of this month of $8.38. So we came within pennies away from that low, and from the low to the high of February 2021. We were up almost 800%, right? Over 700% with no support. So obviously I missed that run in C19 and in that March 2020 dump. I wasn't going to FOMO in. I made some money, just trading it here and there, but obviously missed that massive 700% and 7x run, right? $1,000 into TrueLeave about a year later would have been worth $7,000, right? Over that actually. And then here we are from the February 2021 highs, we're now down almost 88%, so 87%. And the reason why I was reluctant to add this was because of the fact that we were confirming monthly downtrends. We had lower high and lower low. We had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, meaning a lot more downside could ensue. And then, like I said, no monthly support all the way down to the lows there at 810. And then here we are giving the whole move back. And this isn't uncommon for names in MJ to do it. Crypto does it all the time. These highly volatile names, when we see 700% or 10x moves, 7x moves, maybe even more than that, generally it gives the whole move back. We've seen that with Bitcoin time and time again. We've seen that with multiple MJ stocks time and time again, because things get exuberant to the upside and then things get exaggerated to the downside. We get overvaluations on the move up, and then we get undervaluations that just make absolutely no sense on the way down, right? So it's these impulses that go from the upside to the downside. And right now we're experiencing it to the downside. So what I'm looking at is starting to accumulate for the long term, but I'm going to be very, very slow in doing so, because like I said, if USMJ was only down, I've been saying for many months now that it's only down, 70, 80%, it's entirely possible that we're going to meet that 90% plus, just like Canadian MJ is doing, right? Because the whole sector moves together. And now I think people are finally starting to realize that, it's not just fundamentals. It's not just the financials. It doesn't matter if they're profitable, adjusted, if they're positive EBITDA or net earnings positive. It doesn't matter, because the whole sector moves together. And case in point, look at GTII, look at TrueLeave, right? If we take a look at GTII, which is profitable. From its high to the low here, it's down 79%. So it's holding up better. Not saying that it isn't a factor at all, but all I'm saying is that, 80% or 87% down, it's all bad, right? I'm pretty sure we would rather, be up 87% or up 80%, right? Versus being down 80 or 87. And if we're talking being down 80% or being down 90%, it's really, not, you're just splitting hairs. It's not the world of a difference, right? So, but my point is this whole time is that people that were saying that Canadian MJ was terrible and LPs are garbage and US MSOs are the only ones worth owning. Now you're kind of humbled, right? Now people are finally realizing that, okay, the sector does move together. And the fact that Canadian MJ, look at Tilray from its high of February 2021 to now, it's down 96%. So I figured that Trulieve would more than likely follow suit with Canadian MJ. So that's why I've been focusing more on Canadian MJ in buying those dips, is because we're down 96%. How much more are we really going to drop, right? Some 99% from all-time highs. How much more are we really going to drop from here, right? So in theory, if we see something similar on Trulieve, if we go down, 97%, that'd put us down, below $5. If we just extrapolate this out here, if we can expect 96%, that would put us down at around $2, right? Not saying we're going to get to $2, but it's entirely possible that we get to even, say, $5 on Trulieve, right? And then we meet the rest of the sector and follow suit with our Canadian counterpart, right? So that's why I've been focusing more on Canadian MJ. And look at just over the last month, we can see here that Trulieve from the last month, it's confirming a weekly bear flag, but we are down in the last month. We're down 22%-ish. And if you take a look at Tilray in the last month, over that same time period, Tilray from the low to the high is up 34%. If we take a look at CGC, from its low over the last month, it's up 35%. If we take a look at Hexo, from its low over the last month, it is up almost 100%, right? And obviously there were some factors there with regaining NASDAQ compliance with the minimum bid price rule, and then, a few others, catalysts for Hexo, but just taking a look at the Canadian LPs, like I said, they've been beaten down the most and the longest. So that is why it's been my focus. And my thesis all along is that USMJ would more than likely catch up, right? And would see more downside and catch up to the rest of the average loss across the whole sector, being down, 90% plus. And here we are down very close to 90% from February 2021 highs on Trulieve, right? And like I said, down 30%. And I've seen a ton of people saying they were selling Canadian MJ, Hexo being one of them, to buy US MJ. And for example, people were selling Hexo down here when it was below $1 because they figured that, this is the end. It's not going to regain NASDAQ compliance. And then here we are up 100%. And over that same time period, a lot of people saying they were going to sell Hexo to buy Trulieve. And now that's down over, 20%. So, just getting in and out of positions, I think is a risky move in general. That's why I'm diversified. I own more than just Canadian MJ. I own US MJ, but I'm slowly dollar cost averaging. I'm slowly adding more to my US MJ. It's going to be more of my focus going forward now that we're at that 90% plus drawdown from February 2021 highs. But just goes to show you that getting in and out of positions and moving may not be the best idea. And like I said, that's why I was focusing on Canadian LPs, because I think they're much closer to a bottom than US MJ. But like I said, now that Canadian MJ is starting to rebound, my focus now is going to be slowly shifting to US MJ. And then, like I said, once we get full-blown uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, then I'm really going to start to focus on US MJ, because that's when the floodgates are going to start opening up from, the Wall Street banks and things like that, hedge funds and institutional players that are able to get into the space. And we also had a sell alert go off on Trulieve a couple months ago. So Powbot algorithm alerts said long-term bearish evidence on Trulieve, and we're extremely bearish here on the weekly time frame macros. We even had a bear cross of the 50 weekly and the 50 200 moving averages, and then on the daily time frame, we could be gearing up for a golden cross over the next few months, but nowhere near seeing that happen, and we're not even anywhere close to the 50-day moving average there at 1296. But the death cross occurred back here in summer 2021, and that was when the price is at around $40, and here we are from that death cross and sell signal down all the way to about $8, right? Giving back that whole move. Now we're looking to see a potential golden cross. Last time that happened was back here in June of 2020, and the price was at around $16 and ran all the way up to 68. So when we do see the 50 cross to the 200, that's going to be another golden cross, and we can expect a lot of upside from there. But like I said, it's going to likely be a couple of months, whereas Canadian MJ, if you take a look at Tilray, for example, Tilray very, very close to seeing it's already at its 50-day moving average, very close to it, and it's already close to seeing that that golden cross with the 50 crossing through the 200. There's even a ton of other names that are seeing it as well, right? So CGC, for example, very, very close to seeing its. We got VFF, not as close, but OGI, very close to as well. So again, Canadian MJ just looks to be forming a bit more of a base, and potential bottom looks to be set a lot sooner than US MJ. So going down it there, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you adding more MJ? What is your main focus right now? Is it US MJ? Is it Canadian MJ? Is it retailers? Is it ETFs? How are you navigating this bear market? Do you think we're getting close to the end of the bear market? I think that we, realistically, over the next few months, we could see the sector turn around, and that could either be through rescheduling, descheduling. We could get news with regards to legalization, with regards to medical. There's so many things that could happen from a regulatory standpoint in the US. But like I said, I'm not here for taco gains. I'm here for the long term. I don't care if it takes a year, 3 years, 5 years. I'm here. I don't need the money that I invested in MJ. I never invest any more than I'm willing to lose. I'm diversified within the MJ sector and then beyond the MJ sector. So realistically, I've got a 6-figure cash position that I'm still sitting on, ready to buy the dip. And if you want to continue to give me these rock bottom prices for this long, I'll continue to accumulate, because I'm here for the long term. I understand what I hold. I know this industry is going to be the industry of the future, the medicine of the future, and I couldn't be happier to accumulate at these rock bottom prices. Going to end it there, though. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Pal Group. Share the video with anybody that might find value. If you could, smash like. It would help support me in the channel, and we'll see you again on the next video. Take care. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.